Good morning, everyone. Look at you being all early. Morning, Lily. Morning, Wolf. My throat does hurt. There might be some coughing. I apologize if there is coughing. Hey, Tommy Gun Cultist. I don't know if I'm doing Railjack stuff today. We don't know. Thank you for apologizing. Yeah, I'm holding myself accountable for having a sore throat and coughing directly into the microphone. Did you see the dev stream yesterday? No, I was busy. I did see the mushroom frame. I did see the new mushroom frame. You woke up to the cat sleeping on your chest after they dislocated your arm? That does suck, dog. Who is the old silliest frame? I don't know. That's a toughie. Oh, they're adding a new proto frame as well? I thought they said they were done with the proto frames. I think Vauban is kind of the silliest frame. Like, he fights with toys and contraptions. 3 new ones? Yeah, they were like, oh, nah, guys, we're done with the proto frames. I don't know if they're gonna do anything. It's nah, shut up, dog. Like, they're some of the best shit that they've added to Warframe in the last like 2 years. Come on now. Discord sound. Okay, dealing with it. Alright, Discord sound should be banned now. Uriel's apparently a good Orican. The unironic dating sim is so fun. Like, they know who plays this game. They know that, like, they understand. How did he get to 99? Don't worry, it's like, this is the wacky space magic time travel game. Like, the science fantasy aspects of Warframe are not actually important. The important part is that it plays like Dynasty Warriors with guns, and it's about love. Gonna work on uselessly in-depth model train-ass world building, but I do want to watch stream. That's fine. We're just gonna talk about whatever. No, Locust of Famine. Linear time is canon. However, it exists in parallel with a non-linear theory of time that both affect events in this game. Yes, Warframe has 2 competing versions of time coexisting in the universe at the same time. Warframe, like, you know how there are, there's multiple spatial dimensions? Like, it's a 3-dimensional world. Warframe canonically has 2 time dimensions. Time can move in at least 2 directions in Warframe. The strands of Kra. At once. Yes, it's possible. Standing as perdition's physical manifestation, and a warning no one read, Roth's unbridled torment is a nigh impossible to put into discernible words. Roth is our first ever Orican proto-frame, brought to life by none other than Renee Zager. do you mean first ever Orokin proto frame? Grins. You can be blue. You can be blue. You can be blue. I've been playing Mirage. How long until Digital Extremes makes Prime Proto Frames the same characters just with bling now? I don't know. They are a little bit stuck in the, like, everything that exists is just an old thing that came back. I love watching these, knowing fuck all about Warframe is like technobabble, but more fun. That is kind of one of the fun parts about Warframe, is there is a lot of technobabble. Oh, also today I need to grind invasion rewards, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Well, no, no, Cyto 9 is not new. Cyto 9 was like... Cyto 9 was a prototype Warframe. Like, that, was like a... was secret, yeah. It's like Cyto 9 was like a Spec Ops Warframe that was, like, kept classified. And you have whatever the fuck is happening with Temple and their sexual guitar. I don't actually know Temple's deal, but it's whatever. No, the silliness of Warframe allows them to do shit like Temple can do that with the power of music and their sexual meat guitar. Yeah, they added a fucking non-binary ass David Bowie just cause fuck it, who cares? I have been thinking about, like... I feel like there are a lot of elements of Warframe's world building that are genuinely very interesting. But I feel like like the Corpus are such an interesting concept, and I feel like they aren't explored as well as they could be in the game. Like, oh, a capitalist cult that effectively like uses robot proxies to multiply their labor. That's a really interesting concept, and especially with the idea that, like, most of the Corpus that you fight aren't the actual Corpus themselves, they're just, like, robot proxies, and the actual Corpus member controlling them is, like, millions of miles away in, like, a brain vault or some shit. I also like that the Corpus kind of appear to be, like, the Dune Spacers Guild for this game. Like, they seem to manage all trade. And the only reason that they don't actually rule the entire Origin system is because they're constantly fighting with each other as much as they are fighting with the other factions. It's like, I wish Corpus board members would, like, tell you to go kill other Corpus board members more. That's kind of my headcanon for a lot of the Corpus missions, is that it's actually just, like, corporate infighting. You know, the assassination missions where it's like, go kill Nefanyo for the millionth time. In my head, other Corpus board members are paying you to do that.
One of our spy cells has been lost investigating this abandoned lunar asteroid base. We need you to locate and eliminate whatever is responsible.
And the Grineer are fun because they're kind of right. Like, their whole opinion that, like, hey, we actually own, like... The Grineer are technically indigenous to a lot of the Orokin system. Like, the Grineer are almost more indigenous to the Origin system than humanity is, which is interesting. Yeah, they were grown in a vat to be like a slave labor race for the Orokin, but like, the Orokin are all dead. You like Steel Meridian a lot? I don't know what their deal is. All of their lore is from, like, events that I don't have access to because I played this game late. Oh my god, I need to switch off Mirage for this. People run through these so fast. All the Orokin are dead or Entrati. Yeah, they're all, like, eaten by the infestation or some shit. No sound from game? Really? There might have been an update that changed that shit. Game has sound? Okay. Quiet sound from game. Yeah, this game can get very loud. So don't you worry about that. Sorry. I'm enjoying one of my favorite Blasphemous songs. Actual tokens. Hey, welcome to chat. Oh my god, I followed you the other day and spent a couple hours reading your blog. Plus you play Warframe. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, come hang out. Welcome to chat. We're just talking about whatever. You're quiet in general? Yeah, I don't want to, like... It's always, in my opinion, better to be a little more quiet than be a little loud. Are you excited about the Getting High on Shrooms update? Yeah, I'm excited for, like, every update that they're putting out. Like, Digital Extremes has been cooking up some good shit. Ugh. Name my baby kitty Pymander. Blame your philosophy streams for this. Aww, that's cute. Morning, Joey Jojo. It's a good name for a little kitty. Let's see, what else do we got here? Barely touched Orb Valis. You know, I actually haven't finished a lot of the faction quests shit. I should get rank 5 with the fucking Sanctum Anatomica people. Maybe we'll do that on stream. I do want to level this Tenora though, so let's swap to a melee frame quick. I've been fucking around with the new Valkyr. Like I keep picking her in the Spiral. I really fuck with the new Valkyr. I think some of the most fun I've ever had in a video game was playing Krieg in Borderlands 2. Like, high-level Krieg in Borderlands 2 is such a fucking rush. Like, the correct way to play... It's like, all of Krieg's abilities get better the closer you are to death. Like, the lower your health is, the better he gets. And so the best way to play him is to basically just carefully take as much damage as possible without actually dying. Like, the best way to play is just, like, constantly on this razor's edge where you're constantly sprinting at people and then doing, like, glory kill shit to them. And it seems like the new Valkyr could be built in a similar way. Oh yeah, how's the Oberon rework looking? What are they doing there? Yeah, it's literally Danger Mario strats. His one can strip Overguard now? That's really good! That's actually crazy good. Wow. Okay, I can spare 2 Echo Voca and everything else. Hang on, hang on. Don't want to sell too much. Locking in. My friend got me to play by telling me that you could play with, like, 0. Yeah, you could totally do that. Although snipers are generally not very good in this game. Unless you want to play fucking Cytonine. Please watch the cutscene for ranking up. It's important. I will. We'll watch it together. Let's see, let's see. If I'm doing this, I'll switch off the Tenora for... no, I can do this with my melee frame. Can I handle level 115, though? Mirror defense? I'll just do this. Hi, Tom Poos. Welcome to chat. Fish. The wonderful English balls fish. Oh yeah, the new Caliban Prime sniper. Like Vadaraya or something. Doesn't Sight also work with bows? Sight works with anything that deals like single high crit damage, because Saito's passive is like massively increasing single target crit damage. Been watching the latest Esoterica vids. I have not actually. I haven't been hanging out with Dr. Justin Sledge recently. I should though. I've been watching all of fucking I've been watching through Let's Talk Religions shit. Like I'm at the point where I'm writing the book where I don't need to constantly be absorbing new information on shit. I'm able, like, I have a solid enough base of knowledge on most things that I can be like, okay, I don't need to watch another video about like early Gnosticism right now. I can set that down. But I've been pursuing more interest in the history of early Islam. Fucking Schwepp has, like, they just barely dipped their toes into the foundations of Islam and, like, early Arab history. They haven't really jumped in yet, which I'm really excited for, because that's a... like... At least the parts of Western esotericism that I study are chiefly concerned with very specific parts of, like, medieval Islam. We care about alchemists, and we care about the Ismaili, right? We care about Islamic mysticism, and even then, only specific, like, Neoplatonist exegesis from the Ismaili and their branches and whatnot. And so the broader history of Islam is not something that I'm overly familiar with, and I want to become more familiar with it. So I've been seeking out, like, esoterica adjacent channels that do talk about the history of Islam more. And it is kind of funny when you have like a world-renowned Islamist who's like, his name is like Björk Gergensen or something, and he speaks like perfect medieval Arabic. That shit's awesome. Like, one of... I was fucking reading... I forget what the fuck it was, but I was reading something where it was like, one of the leading Islamists in the world right now is, like, Chinese. And they're like not even like a Muslim Chinese, they're just like a guy from Hong Kong or some shit who just really likes learning about Islam. Philip Holm, yeah. Philip Holm. He doesn't sound like that. That's mean. I don't have time for Dr. Sledge, but I just watched Sean's 4-hour video. It's a good video, I'm not gonna lie. Although Sean's delivery style is very, like... he likes to list a bunch of facts in a very methodical and dry manner. He doesn't really have any even... never really shakes from his very even delivery. He rarely even has graphics. This is YouTuber Sean for BBC One. Like, very much that type of delivery. More exterminate. I need standing. Sean is like... Sean is an essay writer. Like a true essay writer. This is Jonathan Frisbee for BBC One. Sean is like a true essayist. Like, I think, pound for pound, the best YouTube video essayist is Folding Ideas, is the incredible Mr. Dan Olson. he understands the, like, I remember watching an interview with him where he said that he has a background in theology, and it made so much shit about how his approach to academia and his approach to essay writing, it fits so many things together. Like, yeah, he writes like a theologian. He builds arguments like a theologian. Sorry. He builds arguments like a theologian. Everything is like, not like, okay, Sean writes things like a literary critic. You know, everything is, honestly, like a rhetorician. It's just like, this is why they're saying things, and this is why that's not true, right? Dan Olson is like, okay, here's what they're saying, here's why it's not true, and then the actual focus of his argument is why this person believes the things that they believe. Like, why this person that he is arguing with, how they arrived at the things they believe, and what that implies about how they move. Extremely, like, that's pure theologian approach to knowledge right there. And so it makes him very good at analyzing, like, mass irrational action. You know, things like market speculation and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, shit like that. He's very good at it. It's like, I one day I want to be as good as Dan Olson at writing essays. You're going to put this stream on as background entertainment while you're carving a little cat from wood? Well, that's delightful. I think everyone should try to at least do some sort of gnome activity while they're listening to stream. I do like that Sean doesn't overly indulge in, like, sneer history. Like, he just points out things that are ridiculous and then says they're ridiculous and doesn't really, like, revel in that fact, which I think is a mark of maturity. Like, it's so easy to be like, it's so easy to fall into, like, the YouTube video essayist version of, like, I don't know, being the angry video game nerd. What were they thinking? They're being stupid about this. Does spreadsheeting count as a gnome activity? No, gnomes don't have spreadsheets. Come on now. Frying eggs for breakfast? That's a gnome activity. Yeah, everyone's hunting for the big dunk. You know, one day they'll catch it in their snares, and they'll be able to mount the big dunk on their wall. And everyone will be so proud and impressed that, wow, look at this person. They caught the big dunk. It's silly. It's silly. And I think the stranger the person you're talking about is, the more you have to avoid hunting for the big dunk. Hey, Abraxas Cat, welcome to chat. Making a model mech? Delightful. Do you also have a throat ache? I've had one for weeks. Yeah, well, it's better now, but I just get, whenever something affects my fucking throat and chest, it just sticks around for like a week and fucks me up. Stuck in the twilight between video essay and funny man video. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. Like, it's a bar I've tripped over before. It's like, I think some of my best writing is like analyzing stupid reactionary shit that people have written. But I think it's too easy to get into the... It's too easy to hunt for the big dunk, you know? And the problem with that is that it detracts from your argument. Every time you try to hunt for the... Every word you spend hunting for the big dunk is one word that you're not spending actually making an argument. Like, it's... You're doing social commentary instead of actual composition. And that's not your job. The big dump, Lamau! Got him! Hey, maybe you should stop hunting for the big dump and start hunting for the big dump. I fucked that one up. I fucked that one up. Wow. Yeah, there's so much, like, that, like, get a load of this guy. Like, that's sneer history. You're just doing sneer history. That's embarrassing. You can't be doing that. Because the problem with sneer history is that people forget that they're doing the history part of it. You gotta actually make a point. The hunt for the big dumpy. That was, in fact, the joke I was trying to make, but I got distracted by Warframe and flubbed the delivery. You're spending too much time hunting for the big dunk when you should be hunting for the big dump. There we go. Redeemed myself. Okay, this is not working. Where are the damn enemies? What is this about loads and dumps? Yo, welcome to chat. We're talking about people hunting for the big dunk. Explain the concept of a smile bird to your roommate while at the grocery store last week. You're welcome. It's a beautiful and joyful thing to have in the world. More people have to understand the concept of the smile bird. Warframe is a dumpy game. It is, in fact, a dumpy game. They love giving male Warframes huge, thick ass and thighs. We've all seen Sevagoth Prime. You really got to play this game? You should. It's a great, like, put on a podcast and do something with your hands game. That's kind of why that's like why it's stuck, you know? I think Sevagoth Prime is one of the most swagful. No, this game loves adding bottom-heavy males. And you know what? More power to them. It's the Final Fantasy 14 effect, or whatever the Final Fantasy that's the MMO is, where it's like, you know, they've got the sexual female armors, but they've also got they're equally as sexual for the male armors, and I think that's good. I think that's true equality. 14. Okay, yeah. I think you're allowed to objectify women if you're objectifying men in exactly the same way. 14 was also an MMO. Warframe is also not overly horny, which I appreciate. It kind of understands exactly where the, like, you gotta be horny, but you can't be gauche with it. You can't be too much. I want Vauban to be good. Gauche? Gauche is, like, overly obvious, you know? Like, a sort of decidedly unsubtle. And as we all understand, because we've all read Bataille, the essence of the erotic is, like, a play of transgression, right? It's like, am I gonna transgress? Am I not? We'll see. Let's dance along the boundary. And it's very easy to gauche sexuality very quickly turns into a PJack post. You just become you become a grinder goon, which is its own kind of sexual, but it's also not necessarily what you want from, like, the writing of a game. P-Jack sexuality has its place, but it represents the failure mode of potentially more interesting sexualities. Means left as opposed to adroit. Gauche, yes. Main gauche, like the type of knife. Can you explain what P-Jack means? Yeah, P-Jack is a fucking... Like, if any of you have ever tried to, like, use Grindr to hit on men, that's what P-Jack is styled after. P-Jack is styled after, like, a kind of sad but horny 45-year-old man who has low self-esteem. Who just, like, really, really wants, like... Is, like, having a rough time and is doing self-destructive things for some tail. I love your tweets, cryptotheism. I love your tweets. Thank you. I'm glad that you like my ideas and thoughts. What do you mean, oh, actual tokens? This is what he is. Do you think less of P-Jack now that you know that he's a Grindr goon? Like, that's clearly what he's emulating, right? Acquiring Valkyr, the frame, ruined Valkyr videos upon realizing that this is the Guru frame. I could no longer continue. You are weak, Guru Lao. You do need to know that. You are weak. I currently have a Valkyr in the oven because I really, really, really want to, like, split people in half. Partially because that's badass, in the same way that, like, an orc with a battle axe is badass. The Guru frame is Garuda. Also true. Garuda's also kind of the vampire frame, though. Garuda's the blood frame. Sip of tea. Both women who like to rip and tear. Exactly. Garuda's once again without lore. There's a lot of frames that don't have lore that could use some lore. Like, what the fuck is up with Hildren? We know that she is like, what, she was like Ulbricht's bodyguard and something? And that's it? That's all we know? Revenant is the Necromancer frame. Yes, yes. Revenant is the spooky ghost version of the vampire. Remind me, where men have Grindr, women don't have Grindr culture. There's just no parallel for, like, the closest thing that you get is, like, the closest thing that you get is, like, toxic 22-year-olds on Lex that are, like, that just have BPD or some shit. Like, there's two very different sexual cultures. I think modern American lesbianism could really... okay, what I'll say, I would be fascinated to see what modern American lesbianism's take on Grindr culture would be. I feel like there have been attempts, but nothing has really stuck. And I feel like there is room for something along those lines. I want to know what the female P-Jack is, but I can't invent that in my mind. Right? It's like, it's not possible. Wait, you can rank up with the caveat? I can? All right. Let's do that then. Yay! Here, let's watch the cutscene. I guess I'll take the sigil. What? Get that off your titties. What are you doing, man?
The chamber is sealed. Prepare for saturation. I've done all I can.
Hi, Lloyd. Oh, do we get more Necromech parts? That'll be fun. I get to change their colors? Where can I do that? Who do I talk to? Oh, I get Deep Archimedia now, the hard mode. I see. Go and talk to them? Okay. Customize Fibonacci. Yes! What if it were purple? Also, comfort is really good. Okay, okay. I want to see. I want to see. Aww. His cuteness. His cuteness. We're regular bird 4. Now see him comfort. Who's the talking bird? This is bird 3. Aww. You can pet them. Who were 2 and 1? I don't know. There's just bird 3. Where's Tagfur? Isn't Tagfur down here or something? I always forget where Tagfur is.
I was thinking, hey, listen, thanks for, well, giving us a purpose, stopping us breaking apart. Better to be alone together, right? The last little while has been, well, happiest is a stretch, but least miserable I've been since all this happened. We all owe you for saving what little we had left. Just so we're clear, when we find Albrecht, the old man is mine. Even if I have to go through Lloyd to get to him.
Kill. I like that Tagfur doesn't stop wanting to kill Albrecht. I mean, much like many of the characters in this game.
When the grandchildren were still very small, Lemurs fell sick. I did what I could, but there seemed to be no hope. Albrecht took Lemurs away, out of our sight. He told us she was recovering, mustn't be disturbed. Lemurs came running up to greet us.
Old Man of Old Man Yowie frame? Yes, this is one of the game's 2 Old Man Yowies.
If he did, he never gave any sign of it. So far as Albrecht was concerned, Lemurs was cause.
Now, the inciting incident for most of this game is like a Category 5 Old Man Yowie event.
Lemurs. He saved
I want to be able to pet Lloyd. You should be able to pet him. That was a hotly requested feature. I see. Alright, there you go. There's your cutscene, everyone. Indeed, the power of love is an important part of these games. Let's see. I want to slap on someone with a good... Let's do Protea. I hope he gets to hold the operator like a baby. I think that's important. That's important and necessary. I don't know. I think Warframe has a lot of room for, like... You've got some interesting factions here. I feel like... You've definitely got some interesting factions here. I feel like... there is room for interesting development. Like having breakaway factions within the Corpus or breakaway factions within the Grineer. I feel like seeing more in-game conflict like that would be a welcome addition to this game's like storyline. Because as good as the story is for this game, most of your interaction with it is just like running around and shooting guys. And I feel like there's plenty of room to make the shooting guys more interesting, especially at low levels. I feel like this game could benefit greatly when, if they took a page from Ultra Kill or something. Like just having extremely weak enemies that do really normal, boring shit, like fly straight at your head or something. But then like every time you hit them, it knocks them back like 30 feet or some shit. That's one thing I've always enjoyed about the Borderlands games, or at least about, like, Borderlands 2. And actually, the pre-sequel, weirdly enough, was pretty good at this. Or it was like, enemies fighting a bandit camp was an interesting and dynamic experience. Like, there's a certain point in Warframe where you can just kind of shoot whatever's in front of you and it's not going to be a problem. But, like, at least in Borderlands, there was, like... You know, you had the psychos that would sprint at you, and then you had the marauders that would, like, hang back. And you also had the nomads who would, like, give orders to the other units. So there's an interesting choice of, like, okay, do you go for the more immediate dangers that are shooting at you, or do you take out the command structure? Because, like, if you were hiding behind cover or something, the nomads would be like, throw grenades, flush them out, and then the other enemies would listen. Yes, and they should scream like human men. That's important. Love the Goliaths. Yeah, the Goliaths were cool. It's like, for every... Like, you shoot their head off, and then they go berserk and start hurting the other enemies. But at the same time, if they... hurt too many, they like level up and they can become like a mini boss that's significantly more difficult to kill. Well, that's fun. There's cool shit there. Warframe's big number means enemy AI is negated by your super too fast to do anything. Yeah. And so I feel like Warframe, like one of the best enemy types from Borderlands was fucking the loaders. Where they were just like big, slow, stupid mechs that were genuinely a threat. But one thing that you could do is you could shoot off their arms and legs and shit, and it could change how they were able to approach combat. Like you could shoot their arms off and, you know, come back for later, even though they had like a slightly larger health pool. I feel like Warframe has room for something like that. Kind of like enemy necromechs. Yeah, yeah. And that mini boss had better drops. Exactly. That is also something I enjoyed about the Borderlands games, is that they would mix in different like sizes and classes of enemies. Like you'd have little grunts running at you, but then there'd also be a mech that's like 3 times as big as them that was kind of slowly providing fire support. You can shoot sentient arms off. Yeah, yeah, like the Thumper. The Thumper's interesting. It's annoying, like, but it's interesting. You can shoot sentient arms off and it doesn't do much. Yeah, it's like I've never struggled to kill a sentient. It would be neat to see. Sorry. It would be neat to see enemies that counter specific builds. Like, have any of you ever played Nuclear Throne? Well, Nuclear Throne is kind of like a twin stick bullet hell, right? And then as you start looping through the game, there start to be enemies that like they're like interdimensional time cops that show up and try to arrest you. And one of them is like, and this is only after you've at least beaten the game once. There's an enemy that shows up and they have an ability where they just like shield themselves, and if you shoot them, it reflects back at you and your bullet just hits you instantly. And they become really, really dangerous in high level play. Or there's like in Risk of Rain, you have the Malachite enemies who like they inflict a status effect on you that just removes your ability to heal. Doesn't do much damage, but you can't heal because a lot of high level Risk of Rain is like building your guy so that you just get massive heal on hit. I feel like there's a lot of room in Warframe's build types for shit like that.
That's it. Open the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
I also like how some enemies with grappling hooks can like hit your gun and like rip your gun out of your hand. I think that's really fun. And they were tanky as fuck too. It's like I feel like bullet sponges aren't very fun though. Like I feel like you want dynamic enemies instead of bullet sponges. You want the player to constantly be making choices with like how they approach an enemy, right? Fortunately, they are tweaking damage attenuation. I think that'll be a great thing for this game. Nothing I don't already got. I don't know. I think about other horde shooters like Left 4 Dead, where it's like picking, like the choice between a shotgun or a rifle or whatever always felt meaningful. But the thing with Warframe is that, like, okay, my favorite gun in this game is Ceto Prime. It's technically a shotgun that has like 200 rounds or some shit. It's a machine gun. It's just a machine gun that fires multiple bullets at the same time. It's like a pan-fed, fully automatic shotgun. It does not feel like a shotgun. It does not play like a shotgun. I feel like the build system in Warframe allows... my tea. I feel like the way that you build things in Warframe, like, it would be very easy to rebuild the enemies into bullet sponges, and that's not fun. Cracking a bullet sponge should at least feel rewarding. Exactly. You ever tried Deep Rock Galactic? I haven't. You ever see the Kuva Zar build that takes 14 minutes to reload? Isn't it literally like a black powder cannon? That's really funny, though. I do like the wacky stuff that you can get guns to do in this game. I wish there was more in-game lore for what exactly the mods are. Like, what are they? What exactly am I picking up when I pick up a gun mod? Firmware? Right, but, I mean, like, what does it do? They're adding a quest where Teshin teaches you about modding? Yeah, it's like, what is it? What am I doing? Am I physically modifying the gun? Or am I, like... Is it like changing your stance in professional boxing or something? I considered it a void thing. You can say that about anything in this game, though. Everything in Warframe is a damn void thing. It's like... Void means magic in this game. Like, that's just what the magic is in this game. Is like, yeah, there's the space between realities where the laws of physics don't matter, and the substance of this interstice can be used to manipulate the laws of physics. Like, that's what the void is. Mods are conceptual embodiment. Okay, so we're getting, like, Jungian archetype type shit. But, like, what are they physically? What, like, when I pick up a mod, what am I picking up physically off the ground? And then what am I putting on, like, how are they made? How do you make mods in this game? I'm choosing to believe it's a physical thing that you add to your gun. See, that's what I think. In my headcanon, I think mods are actually like, it's literally like hanging a rosary bead off your barrel or some shit. I think you're it's like making offerings to the what's that Japanese term for, like, once a gun is, it's like once a tool is older than 100 years, it like gains a spirit and shit. Like, I think that's how guns work in Warframe, and like the mods are just like hanging rosary beads or like offering them furikake or some shit. And that's how the conceptual embodiment works. You're performing an act of gun votivity. Tsukimogami. Yeah. I think every gun in Warframe is a Tsukimogami. Or okay. How about this? They're only Tsukimogami for the Tenno. Right? The Tenno, because of their unique relationship to the Void, they're the only people who can actually meaningfully make offerings to their guns. Or, like, you know, you can spin it in world as like, or they're the only people that can, like, you know, channel the flow of Void into their weapons. The infested weapons are certainly alive, yes, but I think they're also Tsukimogami in that sense. Yeah, it's not the gun or the gun spirit. It's the idea of the gun within the culture. Like, for a game whose primary method of interaction is shooting things with a firearm, Warframe's lore is very sparse about what guns mean to this world. I was thinking in bed the other night. Okay, consider an MMO where the player characters are canonically like imagine a world where the player characters are diegetic. Like you're like your role is that you are a spirit haunting like a doll that people made, and you just kind of wander around the countryside killing rats for people. Like you're literally like a chores golem for the people of this world. And it's understood that like, yeah, these helper spirit golem things have weird personalities and they do weird shit sometimes, but they're incapable of harming people, and sometimes they just show up, and if you give them rats to kill and like feed them gold, they'll kill you rats or something. That's not Destiny. Destiny, it's like, aren't the player characters are like literal guys that have, they're like literal guys that like have agency and shit. I'm thinking they're like ghosts haunting something. Some of the earlier content describes the Tenno as a warrior culture, and I'd love to see that explored more. Yeah, it feels like a relic of when this game was like ninja themed, but I feel like the Tenno are definitely still ninja themed, and they don't really talk about what that implies within the world, because like, yeah, you're a mercenary culture. That's what the Tenno are. That's what ninjas were during the Sengoku Jidai. They were a mercenary culture who had their own customs and like ideas, and like, you know, they had their own villages and shit. Yeah, like a scary brownie. That's our haunted player protagonist. It's like scary brownies that are haunting a wooden doll. We're certainly exploring that in some of the old piece. Every time somebody tells me that Destiny has lore, I ask somebody else about it who also plays Destiny, and they're like, no, that doesn't happen in the game. It's like mentioned once in like one cutscene and then never brought up again. Brownie's like the Irish spirit, Charmiest. In my head, in this version of like haunted player character brownies, you're literally like made of wax or some shit. Warframe is a game about potatoes. Warframe is a game about having friends and restoring the local wetlands. Yeah, brownies are like Irish fairy creatures. If you leave out a saucer of milk for them, they'll like shine your shoes or some shit. But they get mad if you tell anyone about them. Like if you tell someone like, "Hey, I got brownies in my house," the brownies will stop chilling with you. Warframe is a game where you get to be non-binary and fuck your guitar. Yes, that's true.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
Not what you said. I said a better thing. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I'd like to see more of like what exactly guns mean to the Tenno. I do like that the in-game explanation for why they use swords is that they can parry bullets. They're just like, yeah, it's literally just like it's like holding a riot shield for them. That's why they have melee weapons. I used my technique on you. Paraphrase. Yes, the catalysts are. There's gold potatoes and blue potatoes. The sacred azure potatoes. You can't wait to play Blasphemous again? I'm not going to lie, I was partially playing that because I was really waiting for Silksong, and then Silksong came out and it satiated that, so it's probably going to be a while before I want to play Blasphemous again. Does Warframe have carrots yet? It should. It should have carrots. I'm also curious what exactly Endo is. Like, the thing that you actually use to upgrade mods. Like, presumably the mods are made of Endo. Like, memories? Right, but what is it physically? Is it like a substance that has memories in it? Yes, Exilus adapters are occasionally. I I do like how the visual language of the Exilus adapters definitely implies that they're a modified Forma. That's cool. I like that. The whole thing of like, oh, this is a Forma. It's like this is like Orican concrete. Like everything is made of this shit. Like, yes, love that. Perfect. Awesome. Endo used to be something else. It was replaced with the currency. Oh, did Endo used to be the currency? That's interesting. Yeah, it used to be fusion cores. I remember that. I remember reading about that on the wiki. It was before my time. Endo was described as concentrated energy. Boo! It's nothing. Give me flavor text. I want context for what I'm actually doing when I upgrade shit. Wait, the Exilus mod is based on Ascentia. That's why it's called Exilus, because they were exiled. Is that true? Is that why that is? That'd be cool. Concentrate Ds. Stop! 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 You're never allowed to do that in my chat ever again. I think Endo is crystallized memory. It does make, like, okay, it's clear within Warframe that anything with a brain can drop Endo. Like, so it definitely has something to do with your brain.
Very impressive, Tom. You held them all back. Time to get out of here.
I don't know exactly what, but it does. Oh, that's Aya? Yeah, Aya's memory or something. Yeah, because Aya's what they use to make the, like, holographic fuck universes. Like that, like, it's implied that, like, a cephalon is involved in, like, a cephalon brain is, like, cooled with Aya or something. The missile knows where it is. The missile knows where it is because the missile knows where it isn't. There's in Nine Sols, one thing I like is that, like, their gold is basically like gold circuitry. Like the currency of the game is like gold circuit board components. I feel like Endo could be something kind of like that. It's like some sort of, because it's clear that Endo is common within the universe. Like, everyone kind of knows what Endo is. People have Endo. They have objects made of Endo. So it's clearly some sort of, like, Orican circuitry component or something. But something that has to do with brains. So, I don't know, maybe if you got, like, Orican brain implants or something, it was, like, made of Endo or some shit. Endo is Orican adrenochrome? That's kind of what I was thinking. It's like some sort of performance-enhancing substance, or, like... Maybe it's like Bloodborne, where everyone has, like, really serious heavy metal poisoning, and Endo is just, like, what happens when you centrifuge someone's blood. That's Kuva? Well, no. Only the Grineer have Kuva, right? I think everyone has Endo. I think, like... I think maybe if you, like, centrifuge someone until all of the blood comes out, like, and then, like, put that in a little file or something, that's Endo. The Orican had Kuva originally, though? Okay, wasn't it, like, what they used to, like, build the Grineer? Like, it was, like, the biological substrate that they used to grow the Grineer or some shit. Endo is to Kuva as... Endo is to Kuva as mind is to body. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here. Endo is how the Orokin built artificial brains, right? It's how they it's how they repair neural structures. Let's say that. And so that's why infesteds drop neuro shit. And here. Endo is the thing that lets you connect like neural implants to your brain. It's like it's the hot glue that lets you stick neurocircuitry into your own nerve system. That's what it is. That's why it's in everything, and that's why it's a useful buildings material. Used Kuva to put their minds into new bodies when they started aging and dying. He must be harvested from the Man on the Wall finger, but I'm not entirely clear on that. Yeah, it's clear that, like, Kuva is some sort of, like, biochemical substrate that allows you to, like, upload your consciousness into another body. But too deep in the lore for you to follow? Ah, don't worry about it. It's fine. We can talk about we can talk about grinder goons again if that makes you happy. Drinking the mushroom kuva that turns you into a new warframe. Tenno, I'm too high. I can feel myself turning into a warframe. Oh, fuck, dude, you smoked the kuva weed? It's gonna last forever. You're gonna be a warframe now.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
We do need a weed frame. We need a warframe that canonically smokes weed. Everything in Warframe is luminiferous aether levels of reasoning. Yeah, that's part of the fun bit, though. Everything has a substance. We just got Noko, Ureli's weed-smoking brother. That is true. Ureli smokes weed. That's... okay. Ureli obviously smokes weed. I mean, Ureli is literally like a skater chick. That's a bitch that smokes weed right there. And yes, she smokes weed. And she surfs on a jellyfish and smokes weed. Do warframes do stuff when not possessed by a human child soldier? No. Only Excal Umbra can. That's one of his unique traits, is when you, like, transfer out of him, he has his own, like, consciousness and can fight alongside you. Smoking the shit in the Harrow Thurable. Yeah, there is the Excal Umbra special case. Yeah, there's like a bit in one of the quest lines where your warframe can do its own shit because of the power of friendship or some shit. Temple's also on some weird shit. Well, Temple's also like a proto-frame, right? Like, Temple doesn't follow the normal warframe rules because Temple's a proto-frame, right?
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? That's the last of them. Objective.
Yeah, the Orokin literally, like, lobotomized the warframes. Because they started biting people. The Excal quest does rule. Like, it's awesome. The whole Old War arc rules. Executor Ballass was a good villain. Where's my Cedo? What shall we do now? Stretch. Here, you know what? I'm gonna go grab some more tea. Give yourself a stretch, get a snack, do all that good shit. I'll see you all in a bit. And we're back. I made a really yummy breakfast sandwich and my cat keeps trying to eat it. The book is mainly in editing now. Like, I think it's like 100 pages now, and it's probably going to be more with all the pictures I want to add, because boy oh boy, this book is going to need a lot of fucking pictures. Probably going to be at least 20 more pages to add, but I want to at least get one entire revision done before I start adding any more. Because I think if I allow myself to start adding more as it exists, I will just add slop. Well, I'll just add unedited nothing forever, and the book will just be a mess. What are they going to be? Scans from primary sources or fun doodles? I want them... Okay, here's my idea. I want to get one or many... Oh, hi, Jamie. Thank you. I want to get one or many artists, and I want them to recreate many of the images from... Like, many of the important images from primary sources. Like, that famous drawing of the Ptolemaic universe and whatnot. Various doodles from John Dee, that sort of thing. I want an artist who can kind of copy them down. I want them to be black and white, but I want them to be pretty intricate. Smoking the type of shit that makes my ghouls rise. Smoking the shit that makes my Tenno scoom. We smoking the Janus key. Could give a uniform look to the illustrations. Exactly. But then, I also want marginalia doodles. I want like one main artist who can do all the big full page illustrations, but then I also want to like I want to commission marginalia doodles from a lot of my like artist friends. What's the Janus key? They put that shit in Halo 4. So two things, Jamie. Janus is the two-faced Greek god of thresholds, right? I love what you do, but I gotta say I'm really disappointed to discover that most magic is about a relationship with the Abrahamic god, and most of the fun stuff was invented in the last 100 years by like Lovecraft and Blavatsky. That's not true. That's not even a little bit true. You gotta learn more about magic, dog. Sure, like some of it is that, and a lot of the shit that people talk about these days can be that, but there's way more than that. Like, a relationship with the Abrahamic god is a pretty damn broad net. There's a lot of interesting ways to do that. I don't know. So the book is currently in editing. My editor is doing a fantastic job. I've got the book about 25% edited. We're about to revisit the Islamic Golden Age. I think. So in my downtime, I've been working on Six Stomach Murder. If you guys haven't been reading that, you should check out my murder mystery. It's like an unedited first draft. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It's been really fun to write a murder mystery. What shall we do now? Let me check my... Gotta say, it's been nice to focus a little bit more on fiction, since, like... Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind only ever thinking about, like, Western esotericism. And it's nice to, like, get out of that mode. Delicious tea. I don't know. I think the things that I still need to add are like... What flavor? Moroccan mint. Okay, what's the wild stuff then? Where's the alienating super spirit? Where's the flagrant, ununderstandable tongue muttering, invoking powers beyond ken? Well, you gotta remember, dog, you exist in the real world. Like, you can only read books that were written by people. You know, that... And also, like, I don't... You seem to have an understanding of contemporary magic that is highly influenced by Lovecraft, which is not the norm. I would encourage you to look into the Cult of Sabati if you're looking for some real shit, like the truly difficult, like truly philosophically and theologically rigorous modern occult shit. You got to look at Andrew D. Chumbley. You got go read the Azoisha. I don't actually know how you pronounce that. Go read the Grimoire of the Golden Toad. Also, read the PGM. Yeah, read the Greek Magical Papyri. That shit's free online. However, I will say, the Chumbley's stuff, like the modern sabbatics, a lot of their writing is written intentionally to bounce off people who aren't ready for it. Like, they expect you to be familiar with the broad strokes of occult history and formal English ritual magic as a whole. So, while I think it is valuable to try and puzzle your way through it without having like a rigorous understanding of the whole of magical history, which isn't a thing that anyone really has anyway, it's valuable. You should check that shit out. There's always more things to learn. Always. Always, always, always. I don't know what the Grimoire of the Golden Toad is, but it's an amazing name. It is. Chumbly is so good at naming shit. Chumbly, I think part of what makes Chumbly so brilliant as a formal ritual magician is that he's so good at using, like, okay, the essence of good essay writing. I was talking about this with my editor the other day. The essence of good essay writing is synthesizing ideas. Here's fact A, here's fact B. When we put them together, they imply synthesized fact C, which is a point that I am making, right? And the idea being that composition is the act of, like, assembling facts so that they are synthesized into information that supports an idea that you are trying to make, a point that you're trying to put into the world. Chumbly is really good at doing that with esoteric and religious symbology. Like, he understands symbols that imply things and mythology. Like, he understands, like, taking three things from mythology that imply a fourth point of the square and then just pointing out that that fourth square is there and that no one has really noticed that before. Like, a great example is in the Viridarium Umbris. In, like, the first couple pages of the Viridarium Umbris, he talks about the Eden myth, right? Only read the Dragon Book of Essex in my Kindle library. Haven't read it yet. It's good shit, dog. Like, in the first couple pages of the Viridarium Umbris, he talks about, what is it? Like some of the first, within his mythology, some of the first angels to become corporeal, to take part in the corporeal reality, were the trees in the Garden of Eden. And that, you know, if these are some of the first angels to make themselves part of the corporeal world, they would be venerated as some of the oldest and wisest of earthly spirits. It's like, that's so... Yeah, that's Shulky, but they're kind of like two halves of the same coin. Like, it's so, like, it's such an elegant explanation of what he's doing with the sabbatic system, right? Like, Chumbly and Shulky are both people who are working with the like modern sabbatic system, right? And part of it is, like, they're constantly playing off each other with these, like, explorations of existing mythology in ways that imply new philosophical truths, which is it, and they do it so deftly. It's very impressive. The witch cult myth is such fertile ground, and they kind of do what Deleuze and Guattari do for Jungianism, where it's like they kind of start within psychoanalysis and, like, take it apart and kind of break out of it using its own tools. Like, they use its own tools to break it from within. I think a lot of them, like, the modern sabbatic shit is kind of doing that for the mythology of the witch cult. This is actual philosophy. It is. Yeah, no. We're talking about philosophy. All you guys need to do to get me to talk about philosophy is just, like, bring this shit up. Curious what this is going to be given title? I don't know yet. I'll figure that out when I upload it. It is. It's really interesting shit. Like... No, this guy's leaving. C6... Ultra. I don't need either of these. I'm gonna bail. I don't know. There's a lot of good shit happening in the modern sabbatic circles. Our mod of the Discord server, which, if you're not in the Discord server, you can use !Discord to get a little invite link for yourself. May, our mod, is a dedicated sabbatic, and always fun talking about that shit. If you really want to know more about that shit, May knows more about it than I do. I know. The sections of the book that I still want to add The first one I'm thinking of is I need an ancient Jewish mysticism one. I need something that covers, like, pre-Kabbalah mysticism, because I'm going to have to write the damn Kabbalah chapter at some point. And I wanna try and get those two done in, like, a 1 month period. I wanna, like, lock in and be like, just get all of my Jewish mysticism shit out at once. I think that'll be important. I should probably revisit the Enlightenment, but I don't know. Like, there's something to be said about, like, the transition from alchemy to chemistry and then to modern chemistry, but I don't know if that's necessarily something I want to talk about in my book. Like, it's a book about magic, right? And while we've talked about alchemy, like, we don't... I don't know, it might be valuable to talk about how something transitions from magic to science. Why? So this is my why am I where I am. Sabati is not based in Abrahamic religions. I mean, fucking... They're going to reference it. Sure. Is there going to be a physical release? I hope so. Yeah, I would prefer to. Like, listen, buddy, if you want to learn about esoterica, some shit is going to be based in, like Abrahamic religions are going to come up. Like, you're going to have to deal with that. Like, it's not going to be, like, here's my take on Jesus, but it's going to be, like, angels are going to come up. If not, you could always burn the VODs to 30 DVDs. Yes, we need to release a CT box collection. Guru Lo. Yeah, we all know about the anti-Semitism. Like, we've all been here. We're well aware of the anti-Semitism. It's Western history. If you open a history book, you're gonna find some anti-Semitism. You would totally buy that box set. Listen, if I'm gonna sell a box set, I would want it to be good shit that's not just me rambling about philosophy for 2 hours every week. Transition from religion to science is interesting. I was just reading that. I was just reading Thomas Kuhn for a class. Wonder if it looks like that. Maybe. Tapestry, Nicaea, other shit we did on James' channel. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what would it look like to talk about magic transitioning from something to something else? Like, because, like, it is fundamentally a question of history of philosophy, right? Like, that's what that is. But I think if I was going to do a section like that, I would want to find another instance of magic becoming science. Like, another good one. Like, maybe we could talk about the transition of astrology to astronomy. That would probably be a good one. Would early Jewish mysticism be to try and contact the Sartora? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, all that, like, the sort of Dardanos shit, the Merkava and Hekalo the Merkava and Hekalo literature. It's all that shit. Which everyone likes to call the Hekalo literature Merkava, and it's not. It's different. The chariots and the thrones are different. Because that shit, like, I think basically I need to talk about every major ingredient for contemporary conceptions of magic. And the Jewish mystical ascent literature is going to be important for that. Have an example of magic to science, but it's not Western. I want to try and stick to Western. If I start bringing in Eastern mysticism, it's gonna double my research load, and like I'm gonna have to learn about I'm gonna have to develop a nuanced opinion on a lot of shit that I don't really know anything about. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. What's that post where it's like, one day you will wake up and discover that you... like, it's not that you are Chinese, it's that one day you will wake up and discover that you have become Chinese. Save it for book 2. Don't even get me started. There's a demon in my brain that's like, we should write a sequel to this, and I'm like, no, don't do that. This has already taken a long-ass time. Don't even joke, lad. Yeah, one madness at a time, buddy. Exactly. Six seasons and a movie. We'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. Yeah, maybe in like, maybe if I punish the, if I punish my book, if I publish this book and it does well, it'll be a good 4 years. It'll be a presidential administration before I'm ready to even consider a sequel. But also, I'd like to do a book on the history of cartomancy. I feel like there's room for that. Just remember you had a series of inquiries where people were under the impression you literally practice magic. I'm not that guy. I mean, okay, my interaction with magic is like I do practice magic. Although it feels disingenuous for me to like, I don't believe magic is real in the way that most people understand it. Like I don't believe in like Harry Potter magic. So whenever I tell people, whenever you talk about magic on like Tumblr, there's a lot of context and like semantic differences that people don't really get. Like I fuck around with tarot cards. I do the occasional ritual magic, but I also am like a diehard anti-theist. So there's a lot of confusion there. It's like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean you like do magic but you don't believe in magic? And it's like, well, I don't think tarot cards are like channeling any sort of hidden energy. Like they are just a deck of cards. But using like how is using tarot cards not magic, right? How is interacting with tarot cards and like learning to interpret them, how is that not an act of magic? It's like, what is it, play? Am I playing? Are you playing toys here? Shakes you? Huh? It is academic. No, you're right. It's like I have an academic interest in magic, but it's like it feels intellectually dishonest of me to say that I'm not doing magic, you know? It always feels lame to me when I'm saying like, yeah, I do magic, but not like those other people. I'm better than those people that call themselves baby witches on TikTok, which isn't true. I'm not better than those people. Like the two of us are both interacting with magic in culturally valid ways, even if I don't really think that you should tell people that magic is real. Like, I'm not better than those people. I'm not doing something meaningfully different than that person. In some senses. Hey, Board Gopher, welcome to chat. Isn't astronomy such that it's basically always been around? Well, yeah, that's also a good point. Is like, for most of history, you could call it astronomy astrology. Like, the two were not different. Imagine signing a book for the tarot reading. That's kind of fun, actually. I might do that. You're different from them in the sense that you're not 16. I guess, but it's like, it's so easy to make fun of people, you know? Like, it's so easy to be rude. And I have no beef with those people. Unless they're, like, explicitly exploiting people. Like, even people that are like, yeah, I make some extra cash on the side doing tarot readings. Like, I don't think you're hurting anybody. You know, you're not selling people herbs and saying that it's medicine. I don't think that's I don't think you're hurting anyone in the same way. It seems relatively harmless to offer fortune-telling services to people. I think there are definitely ways that you can do it and have it be shitty and exploitative. But like there are bigger problems, right? Like, well, let's talk. If we're going to talk about people believing silly things as being a problem in society, I mean, we should talk about televangelists first. I don't think witches on Etsy are going to be causing too much of a problem. They're not at the top of my list. Don't upsell me on curse removal. Just put the future in the bag, bro. Good job, Joey Jojo. I'm pinning that. Yeah. You don't need to upsell me, buddy. Just put the future in the bag. Come on now. Yeah, it's like artisanal handcrafted fraud. You know, I don't. That's just an American tradition at that point. Like, what are we if not a nature of fraudsters and tricksters? I think the greatest American to ever exist was P.T. Barnum, that fucking shithead asshole. We love a con artist. Like, the concept of the con artist is one of the greatest American exports. We love a bastard. Post that so I can reblog it. Yeah, again, true. Joey Jojo, put that on Tumblr so I can reblog that. It's a good one. I'm picturing us like a boardroom. And Joey Jojo just put something up on the PowerPoint projector. And we all started clapping. We're like, we need to ship this. This is going up the ladder, buddy. You're going to do great at this company. It should be. No, it's like we need to understand that these guys are usually just huge shitheads. But like a foundational myth of America is the idea that you can like be a poor asshole and then like just be ambitious and shitty enough to make money. We kind of love that. Like I understand that is an evil thing to like, but it's a central component of American culture. It's just it's why we all love Elizabeth Holmes. It's why she's awesome. She's just a fucking lying, exploitative shithead, but she did it in a funny way where it was really obvious what she was trying to do, and she cheated a bunch of rich assholes out of their money, which is a fun thing to do. She's a scamp, exactly. She's a lovable scamp. Even though she tried to lie, like, we all agree that she should have gone to jail, and that it was a good thing that she went to jail, but the period when she was out and active and doing stuff, and we all knew that one day she was going to go to jail, we were all rooting for her, baby. We all wanted her to survive as long as possible before she went to jail, but we did want her to go to jail. I think that's a quintessentially American way to interact with the world. I think that's why Trump got elected. I am seized by a fundamental American need to root for a shithead underdog. Reverence for the bit. That's a real good way of saying that. Yeah, we have reverence for the bit. Yeah, and the other side of that coin is whoever committed that shooting that is attributed to Luigi Mangione. HMTW. Hang on, don't tell me. What murder? HMTW. No, not ringing a bell. I gave it some thought. How massive the weenie? How may the what? Yeah, the court sketches of Luigi where he's like drawn uglier than he clearly is. Isn't... oh my god. My fucking throat. how make the world? Excuse me, waiter, how make the world? They did. They brought back anti-Italian racism for those courtroom sketches. It's a travesty. You hate to see it. After all the progress that Italian Americans have made. How my toe warm? Excuse me, waiter. How my toe warm? Excuse me, waiter. How much the wiggles? How much to wiggle? How many to wiggle? Am I carrying something? I am. I'm going the wrong way. Hot mommy, toppy woman. Whenever I hear a funny thing, I like imagining it being said in a crowded elevator. Like tapping a guy on the shoulder, just being like, hey man, hyped my titular wingnut. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? When you're a Native American surfer dude, hyped my tubular wigwam. Have you guys ever seen a wigwam before? They look cozy as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. I see why people were living in those. You know what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to sleep in a yurt. I've never been in a situation in which, like, I remember listening to the Horrible Histories documentary about Genghis Khan, and they kept talking about how he had a palatial yurt, and I was filled with an overwhelming need to spend a night in a palatial yurt. I want to do that so bad, dog. It was gilded. He had a palatial golden yurt. It had like wood paneling that they would carry on horses and set up inside of the palatial yurt. I need to get my yurt up. I do. I straight up do. I've been going camping with my friends recently. Like, excellent way to get out of the house. I want to assemble a yurt in the Mojave Desert. The original glamper. Literally, like, this dude had a civilization following him and his glamping abilities. It's king shit. It's con shit. I need to be con maxing in my life. I need to get a palatial yurt. You have to understand me, chat. I need a palatial yurt so bad. We all need to be con maxing, honestly. Earlier, Ellie was like, throat singing stream when? Okay, we can put this together. We can have a yurt stream. We literally need to be mound maxing. It's imperative that we are mound maxing. This guy doesn't even have an ancestral mound. Frankly embarrassing. You're never going to get a woman to talk to you. The beautiful women see your terrible mound and they get embarrassed and they come to my palatial yurt, alright? That's just how the world works, buddy. Get it twisted. We raising the roof at Gobekli Tepe. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. You've actually helped to build a Huma mound? That's so cool. I don't know, every time I learn about, like, like how the Navajo people actually lived, like how they set up their teepees and why it's like a good, like how that works for the local climate. I'm like, and then I go camping and I'm like, dude, my fucking triangle tent, it's falling into the trap. It doesn't have an open space at the top for a fire pit. Like it traps heat. Like I'm getting mogged. I'm getting mogged by the teepee. Like, if I had a teepee, everything would be fine here. But no, like an idiot, I brought a fucking triangle tent. It's ridiculous of me. And embarrassing. I was a fool not to TP Max. Plus, they're easy as fuck to put up and take down. You can put that shit on the back of a horse easy. One of those lost modern arts is like advanced tent building technologies. None of us here could make a palatial yurt. None of us here could make a palatial teepee either. I'm sure it's possible. The technology exists. The theoretical knowledge exists. A palatial teepee can be made, but not by anyone in this chat. The human urge to min-max your dwelling space? That's true. That's fucking true. You should use your book money to buy a horse? I do not want a horse. I don't need a horse. I'm sedentary. I'm sedentary as fuck. You got into a kayak the other day and you were like, oh, someone designed this very carefully. Literally, yeah. Like, you get into a well-designed kayak and you're like, I fucking see how the Haudenosaunee, like, ruled a river valley with these things. Like, I could see how you build a society around this shit. And I don't even know how to make a shitty... I don't even know how to make a shitty one. They're mogging me. Uh-oh. Network not responding. You still with me, chat? Alright, you're still with me. Literally, like, where were you when you reached the knowledge that you were constantly being kayak mogged? Stream is normal? Okay, good, good. I was getting notifications in Warframe that something was fucked up. I think I manage at least a ramshackle level on my own. Maybe. Maybe. I think there's a demon in everyone's brains that says shit like, I could build a kayak. Like, just give me an oak log. Give me an oak log and a knife. I could build a kayak. And I think that's one of those demons that you have to indulge him, but you can't believe him, right? Like, that's the demon that lets you try. That's the demon that lets you try doing shit that you should try doing, where you're like, I could write a book, but you shouldn't believe that it's going to be a great kayak the first time you build your damn kayak, right? I think the first time I picked up a base with a better neck than the cheap shit I bought I used. Exactly. Exactly. Struggling to express this, but it's genuinely fascinating to me how much stuff the First Nations developed that we don't really consider technology. That's fucking true. Like, I've been reading Moby Dick, right? There are so many different types of fucking rope that I don't know about. History is rope mogging me, all right? Like, there's a whole chapter about how whaling line has to be built completely differently than all other forms of nautical rope. Like, it has to be specially built by a special rope maker. Because most rope is made of, like, hemp that's been treated with tar, but that makes most nautical rope inflexible, like too inflexible for most whaling rope because it needs to be tightly coiled around hand tools. And so whaling rope has to be treated with a completely different retinue of resins, and it has to be made in a completely different way than most nautical rope, and I didn't know any of this shit. I'm an idiot, right? I didn't know shit about nautical rope. Like, I thought it was just a bunch of string that you fucking wove together. No, turns out it's not, and I'm an idiot for thinking that, and if I tried to take my idiot rope knowledge on a whaling vessel, I would be laughed off the ship and eaten by a whale. It's not even funny how out of my depth I am. Fucking ridiculous. I'm an embarrassment to the human species. I don't know shit about rope making. Spent hours at the Turin Royal Armory just in awe. Hang on. Just in awe of what was done with fucking hand tools. I have access to centuries of knowledge and the most advanced materials on the planet. I'm never going to reach the level of craftsmanship. Exactly. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. Like, how good people can get about shit that you don't even think about. Like napping. Like fucking flint napping. Like just bashing together two rocks to make a knife. Like that's an entire science that I know nothing about. I don't know shit about napping. I can't nap. What's wrong with me, chat? I think you've shown me some of the pictures from the Turin Armory, but you should show me more. I want to see more. I'm literally a naplet. I'm a nap cuck. I learned about lashing the other day. Like, I thought lashing shit together was just like tying it together. I thought it was like a general term for lashing. Nope. Nope. Whole like school of techniques for attaching two shits with rope techniques. It's like lashing is a specific way of applying specific ties to different flat things at different angles with each other. And turns out it's a really good way to tie shit together, is to lash shit together. Just failed no nap November. Exactly. I saw a video of a guy who just like found 3 sticks in the wild and then lashed them together and then like stood on them. Like he like made a tower out of that shit. That's crazy to me. I think if you asked me to make a tower out of sticks and rope, I would die. Knowing how to tie cool knots is one of those things that feels like it would never come in handy, and then it does like a lot. Yeah, the Wright brothers built their prototype airplanes by just tying balsa wood together with twine. Using specially treated, like, twine rope and shit. That shit's crazy. And it was, like, really good, too. Like, they made really good airplanes. Them shits were not rickety at all. Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like literally achieving heavier than air flight with like caveman technology, like tying together bamboo and coconuts and like building an engine out of bananas or some shit. Like, it's like using like monkey technology to make shit. But no, they made a whole ass actual airplane out of that. I can't do that. I'm dumb as fuck. I'd never be able to do that. It's why I think it's caveman technology and not something that like 2,000 years of human experience is built on top of. I'm literally constantly being like rope mogged by history. It's ridiculous and embarrassing. I can build a paper airplane. I saw a video the other day of a guy who made like he used like chopsticks and rubber bands and hot glue to make like a hand pistol that would like launch paper airplanes like several football fields, you know? And someone in the comments was like, hey, I think this thing can probably exert more than 20 joules of force. which makes it legally a firearm. So you should probably, like, you should probably be careful about what you do in this video. Truly give me a lever and a place to rest it, and I will move the world. I keep telling people this engine shit is a complicated system built of simple machines. It's literally so easy to build a plane out of cloth and trees. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, oh yeah, Bun, speaking of, I learned what a carburetor is the other day. That shit's fucking crazy. It's like a mechanical computer that balances fluid levels in a bunch of, like, metal. Like, it's crazy that, and they, like, all kind of sucked, but it's just kind of crazy that they existed. Like, that a carburetor is a thing that we figured out how to do. Like, this shit is literally a mechanical computer. That's nuts. It's crazy that a guy even came up with a carburetor. And the fact that it didn't constantly make cars explode is like a massive victory. What it does, it's like, I remembered, okay, Bun, do you watch Junkyard Digs? It's this YouTube channel called Junkyard Digs, where it's just like a guy that lives in like rural Iowa who just like fixes junk cars, and his goal is to just drive them off the lot. No, okay, I know about the difference engine. The carburetor is literally cooler than the difference engine. Okay, a carburetor's job is to keep your combustion engine from exploding by balancing the ratios of air, fuel, and other fluids in your car, like air, fuel, oil, like all that shit in your car, which keeps your car from turning into a bomb. And it has to do this dynamically based on how hard the car is working and how fast you're going and how all mechanically it has to manage all of this. Modern cars don't even have carburetors anymore. They have fuel injection shit. It literally like balances the machine's humors. Yeah. It's literally like the demon doing alchemy inside of your brain or whatever. Yeah, I remember there's Noah Caldwell-Gervais has an amazing 8-hour video essay about the Lincoln Highway, which America's first intercontinental road, like America's first true transcontinental road. And it talks about like seeing one of the first automobiles, like the engine taken apart and exploded on the inside of the car. And it's like, it's shocking how simple it is. Like, one of the first true races across America was done by, like, the first engines were made by blacksmiths. And, like, if you broke down on the side of the road, you'd have to, like, go to a bicycle repair shop and have them fabricate you new parts. The shit's crazy. The shit's just fucking wild. No, these guys are no relicking it. We're leaving. Bye.
These manifestations, they aren't for the neural century. Destroy them. They are trying for your life support.
Yeah, it's less about... Yeah, I'm being dramatic when I say the carburetor is keeping it from exploding, but it's like... an internal combustion engine is essentially a big hunk of metal that produces mechanical work with timed explosions, and the carburetor's job is to time those explosions properly without destroying your fucking, like, transmission or whatever. Or your drive shaft or whatever.
Another job well executed.
Mechanic, like... one of my... I'm down. Like, one of the most interesting things for me to learn about in history is the history of metallurgy, and specifically in regards to firearms history. Because whatever the most advanced machining technology you have, that's what determines the effectiveness of your firearms. You need very, very advanced machining technology. You need, like, the ability to make tubes fit snugly inside of other tubes if you want to make good firearms. And that's just not something many people have. And the same is pretty true of engines, I think. I don't know nearly as much about the history of automotive technology. You want to forge a rifle barrel? That'd be badass. I remember going to Colonial Williamsburg and seeing, like, the recreation colonial gunsmithing shop, where it was like the dude doing the rifling just had a big-ass hand-cranked lathe. Just a thing that you had to... It's just like a big drill bit thing that went inside of a lathe, and you had to do that for like a month or some shit. It seems like making a rifle barrel with like 1700s technology just took fucking forever. Uses a bow lathe? Interesting. Where it has like an elastic component to it? You watch that one series where a guy recreates the Antikythera mechanism? No, that seems cool though. I want to see that. Post that shit in the Discord if you can find it. Bow lathes are so cool. Die. I don't know. It goes with what we were talking about earlier about, like, it's crazy how smart... Like, it's crazy how much early technology, like, mogs my ability to think about the world. Like, I don't know how to make a drill. Somebody was like, hey, can you invent a drill? I'd be like, I don't fucking know. Shut up. Go away. I don't know anything. And you're wrong. Drills can't be invented yet. We don't have that shit. Oh my god, I hate the pathing on this area. I don't know how to leave. There we go. Okay. It's crazy that we even discovered metallurgy. Like, it's crazy that we discovered that, like, you can put metal in a clay thing and then get it really hot, and then that makes it soft, and you can make it become other shapes. Like, I would never have figured that shit out. Why would I heat up a bunch of rocks in a kiln? That seems stupid. Are you stupid? Why are you doing that? And then... And then the caveman that does that, like, invents copper tools and then takes over my tribe. Oh! This is what I was grinding for. Yes! I always think about the precision of machines nowadays. Like, how did we get to this point? What do you mean there's not one super precise? Yeah, it's like, literally, how did they do any of that shit without CNC mills? It's crazy to think that, like, modern, computers, like, when they had to make the vacuum tubes for them, a guy had to blow glass. Like, with his hands. Like, we didn't have a machine for that shit. A guy just had to be like, yeah, I can make like vacuum tight shit just by blowing the glass. Do I have the parts for Vadaraya? Let me see. Scientific glass blowing is like fucking crazy. That's another one of those things that, like, Vadaraya prime barrel, prime receiver. Okay. I've heard that. I've heard that, like, glass blowing for scientific instruments is, like, a huge industry. And that, like, anyone who can do that is, like, like you make a shitload of money. Although I did learn that from a Tumblr post, so who knows? Somebody could be just completely lying. Oh yeah, fucking fiber arts, textile sciences. That's another crazy one. Like, we don't weave shit today, but back like 3,000 years ago, like you had to know how to weave shit, or you needed to know someone who knew how to weave shit, or you were fucked. I don't know how to do anything with reeds. Oh my god, fucking flax processing, yeah. I love when you learn, like, you know those videos of, like, you know, it's like a traditional Chinese handicraft or something. It's like, here's how we made blue dye back in, like, back in ancient times or whatever. And it's always some shit, like, and then we mix it with yak's milk, and then we, like, we pour it, we let it sit out for, like, 800 days, and then you pulverize it 9 times, and it's like, how did you learn any of this? Where did any of this come from? Who was the guy that started boiling it in yak's milk, huh? Did he know that would work? Or was he just doing some shit? Like, where did that knowledge come from? I'm sure it came from a logical place. Like, I'm sure they weren't just, like, idiots banging rocks together, because that never happens. This is not a real thing. People follow reasonable logic, and that's how they reach conclusions about the world. But, like, why yak's milk? Where did that come from? I want to know. I want to know that shit. Maybe he was a pervert, right? Maybe he was following some pervert logic, but I want to know the pervert logic. I want to understand these things. Like, who figured out yeast? Where did that shit come from, huh? I'm pissing people off. I'm being slow as fuck. The Egyptians? Yeah, but like, how'd they figure it out? When they're like, okay, we know how to make bread. You know, if you mash it up into a big powder, and you get it wet and you fry it, right? That makes like flatbread. Who came up with yeast? Where did the yeast come from? Yeast comes from air mostly? Yeah, I guess maybe it was an accident. I guess that makes sense.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Wild yeast and then yeast from beer production. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. From what I understand, cheese was invented because, like, okay, like Mongol people would, like, they would keep milk in saddlebags that were made of, like, sheep livers or whatever, like treated sheep livers. And really all you got to do to make cheese is, like, really all you got to do to make cheese is, like, keep it at a constant temperature in specific bacterial cultures, which are apparently present in sheep's livers. And they're like, we arrived and all of our milk turned into cheese. Although from what I understand, it's like Mongol cuisine has a lot of different uses for other various milk byproducts, like milk skins and shit. Like, a lot of Mongol breakfasts have, like, interesting meat, like, milk products and milk byproducts in them, where they use it to, like, thicken soup and shit. It looks really good. I love the idea of a savory breakfast soup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time for us to wrap up. Thank you for joining me for this. Hey, if you want to join the Discord, you can use the command Discord. Follow along. Check out other streams. So when's the Amber Skies yeast making scene? There's actually, I have a lot of lore for yeast in Amber Skies. Yeah, check us out. Hey, I'm only able to do this because of generous support from gentlemen and ladies and others like you. So, if you wanna throw me some money, you can hit me up on Patreon. It's pay what you like. Starts at $2 a month. Throw me a sub on Twitch. It's no pressure. You don't got to do nothing. But I will catch you all next week. Bye.